Good morning, my dear students. Welcome you all to the online classes of social science. I am very happy to see you. You are all promoted to high school. Last year you were in class 7 and this year now you are promoted to class 8. You are in high school. So you are all senior students now. So dear students, the next 3 years is very important in your educational life. So make a clear plan regarding your studies. All subjects you should be taking very seriously. So welcome to your high school life. So here I have seen students who are not much interested in social science. I used to see students telling me, "Father, I have no plan to continue with social science after my class 10. Why should I study social science?" Is social science a disinterested subject for you? There are a lot of things to read and write, so students are finding it hectic. But social science is a very interesting subject. It's very important in the life of every student. See, why do you want to study social science? It is important to study social science not because you need it for higher studies, but it is for your human life. It's for your basic needs. And also, the subject is mandatory for all people as a base in the normal life. Whether you are a scientist, whether you are a person who is becoming proficient in literature, whatever be your talent in the future, your job in the future, social science is something that is very important, which should go together with all subjects. So in social science in the school we are studying 4 main sectors. There are other sectors too: history, politics, geography, economics. All these 4 subjects you are studying in the school. Psychology, sociology, anthropology, such subjects also come in social science. So history you have already started in the lower classes. It is the study of the past. And politics at the same time is the study of the activities associated with governance. And then there is geography. It is the study regarding the land and the resources and the features of the earth and other planets. Then economics. So economics also studies about the production, distribution and consumption. You should know all these features. Now you know. You just ask your parents. Most of them will be in an economical struggle because of the present COVID issue. So the students of Alfonsa School, I know your parents and I know the difficulties they are facing. So dear students, try to study social science as a subject which will help you in your life. And when you attend social science classes, when you attend my classes, listen to the following things. First of all, be ready with your textbook and notebook before you start your online class. When you come for the class, when you come for attending the online class or video session, you should be ready with your textbooks and your notebooks. And when you hear the class, you should take down the notes. And after every class, I will inform you the portion which is covered, and you have to read the textbook at least for 3 times. I may not be going directly through the textbook, may not be reading the textbook in the class, but every student has to read the textbook at least 3 times. Then the next thing, you should use separate books for history and geography. So if you are beginning with geography classes now, you can use geography book now. And just at the opposite side of geography, you can write economics also. And in the history book, from the opposite side, you can start with writing politics also. So the same way, you can use 2 books for 4 subjects. Then with regard to the completion of the notes, every day you have to complete your notes. Don't keep the notes for the next day. In my class, The books should be covered neat with brown paper. Name slip should be applied, and your name, subject, class, everything should be written. I don't mind whether you are coming to school or not. When you are attending the class at home, you should do it thoroughly. I know my students will do it. And next thing, all notes should be written neat. Take time. As you are writing the notes at home, you have sufficient time. You take time and write the notes with sufficient time and try to make use of this time as a time of good handwriting. And another point that you should listen to is, I will be calling you for checking the notes. Daily I may call some students. I will ask them to show your notes. It should be completed. I know you will complete it every day. And another point, every day attend the examination and send the answer sheet to me. Mostly your social science classes will be on Friday, and on Friday you have to attend the class. By Friday afternoon or by evening we will upload the classes, hear the class on that day. And next day at 7 o'clock, that means on Saturday at 7 o'clock, you will be having the examination of social science. Maybe a class will be uploaded at 5 o'clock or before that, next subject. Don't mind, at 7 o'clock there will be the examination, and you have to write the examination and take the photograph of your answer sheet and send it to me through Parent-Eye. After 2 weeks you will be having another exam portal in Parent-Eye. By that time you can start attending the exam online there. Another important thing, don't keep anything for the next day. Write down everything the same day. Don't keep anything for the next day. Study everything on the same day. Not only social science, every subject. I am teaching only in your class, so I will be taking care of your other subjects too. I will call you and I will ask you to show me your mathematics, English, Hindi, Malayalam, science, all subjects. I may ask questions from other subjects too. So be vigilant, get ready with all subjects. And with regard to the notes of social science, I will not be sending PDF notes because it will be convenient for you to see the notes in the board. Every question and answer will be in my video class. So you can answer everything, you can write down everything from the video class itself. So my dear students, I am very happy to see you. You are the 7th standard students last year in the school, and now you are in class 8. I know your batch, very talented batch and very good in everything. So let your high school studies be a blessing. We will study together this year. And we are beginning with geography. I hope your geography notebook is with you and geography textbook is with you. If not, take it and keep with you. When I am taking class, you should follow with the textbook. Shall we begin? In the first chapter, we are dealing with resources. That is the first chapter of geography. Resources. You might have studied the same subject in the lower classes. So here you will get little more elaborated description of the same topic. In resources, what is resource? Just imagine your classroom. What all things are there in your classroom? See, there is a green board in your classroom. Then there are tables in your classroom, benches or chairs in your classroom, teacher's table in your classroom. There are windows in the classroom. There are the other study materials, teaching materials in the classroom. Then there are fans in the classroom, lights in the classroom. Why all these things? All these things, the blackboard, projector, smart class, fans, windows, and after all, there is one more thing. The teacher is in the classroom. Why all these things? They are all resources for the students in the classroom. The students are coming to the class in order to learn. So they are all resources for the students in the classroom. So what is a resource? Anything that can be used to satisfy a need is called a resource. Anything that can be used to satisfy a need is called a resource. So you have already seen the benches in the classroom is for you to sit. The desks are for you to write. Then the blackboard is for the teacher to help you learn. The fans in the classroom, you need it because when there is high temperature, it will make you cool. The chalks, the pens, the books, the textbooks, all these things are usable in the classroom. They are in need for you. So they are all resources in the classroom. Anything that can satisfy a need is a resource. For a student, all these things are resources. See, water is a resource. When you are hungry, when you are thirsty, you feel thirst and you need to drink water. Then electricity. Electricity is a resource. Whether it is from wind energy or hydro project, whatever it is, it's a resource. Then again, vegetables. Your mother is cooking in the kitchen, and in order to make the curry, she is using many vegetables as a resource. So just understand, anything that can be used to satisfy a need is a resource. So you have to take down your first question. What is a resource? The answer is here. You have to write the answer and the example too. Think of your online class. Just imagine what are the resources used for the online class. You may need mobile phone or laptop. You need power, electricity. Just imagine what are things you need as a resource in the online class. And watch the resources used for the construction of your house. All of you are having a house. Just watch the things used in the construction. What are the resources used for the construction of your house? Then watch the resources to make the mobile phone in front of you. So all these resources they are of use and they make something. And I am giving you a homework or an exercise. All of you should go to the kitchen and ask the mother the menu of the dinner today. Mother may be preparing rice and sambar. So just ask mother what all are the things used as resources. You have to do one thing. You have to find all the resources used in the kitchen and write down, and you have to type it in your mobile phone in parent day as a message to me and send it to me. This is a homework for you. It should be done today itself. Send it as a message. Father, the dinner at my home was such and such, and the resources used by by mother was these things, the ingredients, the technology used there, everything should be written there. And you have to send it to me through a parent day message. I hope you understood. Then the next one, what makes an object a resource? There are a lot of things. Now I am taking class here. Everything in the world does not become a resource for me in my class. Now at present I am using this mouse. This is a resource for me to move the slide. I am using this mobile phone to record. This is a resource for me. And now in my class, I see a lot of trees outside. But they are not resources for me. They are not of use for my class now. So they are not resources for me. What makes something a resource? Nothing but the utility or the usability makes an object a resource. If something is of use, the utility makes something a resource. If something is of use for you, it's a resource for you. So what makes something a resource? Second question, utility or usability makes something a resource. I'm hungry now and my need is to prepare a tasty biryani, but no shops are open due to lockdown. Do you all like biryani? I know most of you like it. You may, if you are taking one lunch at a time, if you are getting biryani, you may take 2 or 3. So, but what I have is a broom with me. What I need is a biryani, and what I need is to prepare a biryani. But with me, what is now is a broom. Is broom useful to make biryani? No. So it is not of use, no utility. So it's not a resource in my case. Then the broom is not of use. I want to make biryani. I have 1 kilogram of gold with me. But that is of no use to make biryani. You may tell me to sell the gold and purchase a biryani. Okay, that's okay. But in order to prepare a biryani, gold is of no use. So even 1 kilogram of gold is having no utility. It's not a resource in my case now. So what makes something a resource? It is the utility and usability that makes something a resource. There are things with different kinds of values. How do we measure the values? There are things with and without economical value. In the world, there are things with and without economical value. So I am asking you, there are a lot of students in class 8. I really love you. How much price worth is my love? Can you measure? Your parents love you. How much price worth is that love of your parents? We cannot calculate it with economical value. So here we see the metals or the steel. The market decides a price for this, and there is an economical value. So this is something with economical value. See, this is a very good scenery. But this scenery is very good to be seen. Can you fix a price for this scenery or the nature? No. So there are things with and without economical value. Then coming to the resources can become economically valuable with time. The resources which are not economical value now may become economically valuable with time. See, your grandmother is having some methods, or they have some remedies at home remedies, which is used for medical purposes. It's not professionally used by anybody. At present, we cannot say it is of some economical value. But you just imagine some medical companies are coming and hiring the patent of that home remedies of your grandmother, and they are taking it and they are making the medicine with that and they are selling it. It becomes something of economical value. So what is not of economical value today may become something of economical value in the future. So time makes something economically valuable. You have lots of idea. There are students who are speaking a lot of ideas. By speaking the ideas, will you get some economical value? No. But you just write down the ideas and publish it as a book and now sell the book. Your ideas become economically valuable with the book. Here you have a new term to study. You may know the term patent. What do you mean by patent? The exclusive right over any idea or invention. Somebody has invented something and if they have taken the patent, they have the right to decide about the use and sale of that product. So I have taken patent in something. So for your idea, you can have your own patent. If you have written a book, you have the patent. Nobody else can copy it. And time and technology can make something a resource in the future which is not a resource today. Time and technology are two important factors that can change a substance to a resource. Example, coal. Time makes it a resource. At present, the wood may not be a good resource, but the coal in future will become a valuable resource. Then mobile phone. Technology makes it possible. What do you mean by technology? Study that term too, the spelling too. Technology. Technology. The application of latest knowledge and skill in doing or making things. So two terms we studied today, patent and technology. So coming to the next question, what are the different types of resources? There are different types of resources. Third question you have to write down. What are the different types of resources? Natural, man-made and human resources. We will see what these things are. What are natural resources? You just see this image. Here we have water. So under the sea water, we get oil. Then the forest is a natural resource. Rocks is a natural resource. It's not made by somebody. All these things are already in the nature. That's why it's a natural resource. Then minerals. It's not made by somebody. It's already there. Soil, animals. All these things are natural resources. It's part of nature. So resources that are drawn from the nature and used without much modification are called natural resources. There can be mild modifications by man for natural resources. Suppose a wood is cut and it is shaped for some purpose. Then also it's a natural resource. So example, air, water, soil. So your fourth question, what are natural resources? Write down the resources that are drawn from nature and used without much modification are called natural resources. Examples also. Classify the natural resources on the base of. So we can classify the natural resources on the base of level of development and use. Second, on the base of origin. Third, on the base of stock. And fourth, on the base of distribution. So now we will see the classification of the resources on the base of these four levels. First, classification on the base of development and use. The resources are classified into two on the base of development and use. See, what are the classifications on the base of development and use? Actual resources and potential resources. Actual resources and potential resources. See, on the base of continuity and supply or development and use, resources are actual or potential. Actual resources are the resources whose quantity is known. Potential resources are the resources whose entire quantity may not be known and are not being used at present, could be used in the future. There are certain minerals. So example, take iron ore. Iron became useful when human beings found it to take iron from iron ore. Before that, iron ore was not of use. So before that, iron ore was not a resource. Now it is a resource. In the same way, in future also we may make new inventions to find certain resources which are in potential stage now. Then actual resources are the resources about which we know the entire quantity, we can make use of it. And certain resources are present today, but we cannot use it. Technologies may help us to develop it for tomorrow. These resources are potential resources which are present today, but at present we don't have the technologies to make use of it. Then 200 years back, wind energy was existing, but it became usable with the invention of windmills only. Wind was there always. Now man has made wind an energy with the invention of windmills. Before the invention of windmills, this energy was there. It was a potential energy during that time. So I hope you understood the difference between the potential energy and actual energy. Actual resource and potential resource. Actual resource is the resource which we are using today, and about the quantity of the resource we are aware. And potential resource is a resource about which we are not aware. It may be more than what we expect. Maybe new fuels may come. Now we are using petroleum. In future, new fuels may be found. So they are the resources already existing. We don't have the technology to make use of it. And the next division, what are the classifications of resources on the basis of origin? Resources can be classified on the basis of origin. Biotic, abiotic. On the basis of origin, resources are divided into two: biotic resources and abiotic resources. What do you mean by biotic? Biotic resources are living. Any living organism is a biotic resource. Animals, plants, human beings. So all these bacteria, fungus, all these are part of biotic resources. The abiotic resources are non-living. Air. Is air having life? Air is supporting us to live. Water is supporting us to live. Then soil, then minerals, temperature, light, all these resources are abiotic resources. So on the basis of origin, resources are classified into two: biotic and abiotic resources. The seventh question, you have to take down these two. All the questions and answers you have to take down in the notebooks. Seventh question, what are the classifications of natural resources on the basis of stock? Two classifications are there: renewable resources and non-renewable resources. The resources that will easily replenish or renew after use is called renewable resources. Water. Even if we use water, it is replenished. Again, it is renewed. Soil. The form of soil may be transformed, but even after our use, soil will be replenished with time. Then forest. Even if we cut wood, forest will be reproduced, renewed. So all those resources which can be renewed is called renewable resources. And non-renewable resources. Non-renewable resources, they are the resources which have a limited stock. Once the stocks are exhausted, it may take thousands of years to be renewed. Take the example of petroleum. If petroleum is taken, it will be getting exhausted, and it can be produced again. It may take thousands of years. So that is considered as a non-renewable. Coal. It takes thousands of years to get coal from the fossils. So renewable resources, see, sunlight, rain, water, it is renewed. Petroleum, electricity. Suppose you just imagine a battery in your mobile phone. That is a resource. The battery in your mobile phone is a resource. If you are using the mobile phone for 1 or 2 days, your battery will be getting exhausted. Charge will be over. So with that, it's over. Again, you have the chance to renew it because it's a rechargeable battery. You have the source of electricity. Because of that, you can renew it. That's sure. But at the same time, the power of the battery will get exhausted with the use. Then the classification of resources on the basis of distribution. That is the 8th question. What are the classifications of resources on the basis of distribution? There are two: ubiquitous and localized. What is ubiquitous? Ubiquitous means omnipresent. You have to study the term ubiquitous, ubiquitous, that is omnipresent, present everywhere. Resources which are found everywhere. Air is an example. Air is a resource which is found everywhere. And there are localized resources. That means the resources which are found only in certain localities. It's not found everywhere. Gold, it's not found everywhere. Then other minerals, copper, iron, it's not found everywhere. So on the base of distribution, there is this classification, ubiquitous and localized resources. Ninth question, why are resources distributed unequally? So you just imagine, we don't get resources everywhere. Resources are distributed unequally. We have sufficient water here. We have seen the news during the summer season, maybe from some parts of North India. People are walking miles and miles to collect or fetch water. We have seen photographs. They are walking through the dry land. So their water is less. Here we may be having lot of water. We are blessed with, and only one thing, we don't know how to use the water we have. There is no water scarcity in Kerala. There is only mismanagement of water in Kerala. So dear students, at this time, just think the resource which you are having should be used with proper management. It's of the nature. The resources such as roads, machineries, vehicles are made by man with the use of natural resources. There is a tar road in front of your house. There is a spelling mistake. This is as, not R. Sorry for the mistake. So write the questions and answer. And the resources such as roads, machines, vehicles are made by man with the use of natural resources. We are making all these things. The roads are resources made by us, but the stones and the tar, everything we get from the nature. Then these resources are called man-made resources. If something is made by man making use of the natural resources, that is a man-made resource. So our buildings, our home is a man-made resource. Then the natural and man-made resources, see, the animals or birds, they are natural resources. Leaves or plants, fruits, sunlight, rain, soil, they are all natural resources. At the same time, pizza is a man-made resource. Camera, mobile phone, shoes, computer, ring, this is a man-made resource. Just imagine, this metal of the ring is something that we receive from nature. And that resource is made use to make this ring. So a natural resource is made a man-made resource here. So the next question, why are human resources important? So what is the importance? So that people say with the development of technology, the importance of human resource may be getting exhausted. And some people were telling me, Father, what will be the relevance of the teachers if the students cannot come to school? Whether my students are coming to school or not, for us we need our students, and our students need teachers to study. So we hope you come back soon and we will meet each other soon. And why human resources are important? Human resources can be made more and more important with education. A well-educated person in certain subjects will be more useful for a particular company or particular knowledge. Some of you will become good teachers in the future. So you will be a good resource for a school or for the future students. Some of you will become good doctors. So in future, you will be a good resource for the nation in the health department. And some of you become good drivers, good mechanics. So with education, human resource will be more and more usable in future. Education and health help in making people a valuable resource. But we need a strong person to do some work, but we don't have a healthy person, so it's not a resource. He is not a resource for some work. So education and health make human resources more valuable. Then second thing, people can make the best use of nature to create more resources when they have knowledge, skill and technology. So dear students, today we have already dealt with the topic resources. I have taught you regarding what is the resource, the classification of resources, and you have to take down the notes from the video which is given. And after completing the notes, I will ask you to show me the notes. Tomorrow in the evening you will be having the examination. Before that, study it well. And if you have any doubt regarding the class which is taken today, you please send a message to me personally. Thank you very much.